let's move on to the next segment, and it is player ratings. So, first up, we've got Vicario. Next up, we've got Venom.
There we go.
9s all round for Venom. And like I said before, I think it was the best goalkeeping display we've seen at Tottenham for a while. Some of the saves with the fingertips were just absolutely sensational. And I thought as the game progressed as well, he got better with his feet, bringing us out from the back. And I just thought it was absolutely faultless from Vicario yesterday.
Yeah, I thought it was sensational. I thought some of the saves to keep us in the game were phenomenal. Made a big save at 1-0 as well from Casemiro, which on another day, if that goes in, again, a very, very different game. I think 6 saves in all were absolutely fantastic. And I think he seemed a lot more confident, didn't seem hesitant when coming out of his goal too many times, was able to deal with those situations. And I thought it was a really, really good display from Vicario. And I didn't really put a foot wrong, to be honest, in his first home game.
And he just in the times when we were struggling and we need our players to stand up for us, he stood up for us in those moments every single time, and it was such a joy to watch. Let's move on to Pedro Porro, right back. Everyone was worried about him coming in. We give him an 8. I thought defensively stood up to the challenge really well with Garnacho on that side. And as well going forward, I thought he was providing for us as well. That shot as well that hit the bar, I thought was brilliant and deserved the goal, to be honest. But I don't think anyone can really fault anything about Pedro Porro yesterday.
Yeah, I thought he came in with a lot of concern about how he was going to perform at right back, but you got to say he really stood up to the task. Emerson Royale was known as more defensive option, but I think Porro came in and showed he can do both. He can be good defensively, he doesn't have to be a liability, and he can offer more going forward. I thought, I think it was for the first goal, he played a really lovely pass to Kulusevski, who was able to run in behind and obviously set up the goal. And he was doing those kind of passes throughout the game. Obviously hit the bar with a crashing drive from 20 yards as well. And I just think Porro in that position, if he can just not be a defensive liability and can get that right, I just think he offers so much more than Emerson. And I'm really excited about the prospect of him developing in that role.
Absolutely. Let's move on to Cuti Romero. Sim gives him a 7. I gave him an 8. Did get caught out a couple of times in the first half, not going to lie, but I felt again he was really growing within the game. He was being super aggressive. He was playing us out of trouble at times. And I thought him and Van de Ven both did such a great job in that second half to squeeze us up high up the pitch and really help us dominate that game in the second half. So I thought Romero was brilliant yesterday.
I agree. I think when it comes to the battle of the Argentinian centre-backs, I definitely think Romero came out well on top. That's the only reason I may marked him down one. I did think it was a penalty.
No, I mean the other penalty where Martinez clattered into him.
That one I also thought was a penalty. I thought they got lucky with that as well. I don't think it was a stonewaller, but I think if that Son one was a penalty, that probably because Martinez comes in, doesn't win the ball, and just hits Romero's leg, and so I thought that was they got away with that. But I also thought Romero got lucky with the handball.
100%.
I think his arm was outstretched. I didn't really understand why that wasn't given on replay. Obviously, I didn't see it in the ground. So I only first looked at it when I got home. But I think we definitely got away with that a bit, to be honest. His arm is proper out. He blocks a shot with his hand. I think that's a penalty. But I think all in all, another really strong display for Romero, more confidence on the ball as well when playing out the back. Rashford barely had anything on his side as well. Another really good display from Cuti.
Yeah, and 3 block shots on the day from Romero as well, and one or two of them were really important ones as well. It looked like they could have been destined for the back of the net. So absolutely unbelievable from Cuti Romero. Let's move on to his partner in Mickey van der Ven, and I think they're really forming something already after 2 games. But 7s for Mickey van der Ven. I thought in the first half, again, he did get caught out a couple of times, but again, he grew into the game, and I thought it was a sensational performance. Second half, he was absolutely a man mountain. Nothing was getting past him whatsoever, and I thought any attacker or midfielder that was engaging with him absolutely struggled, and another top performance.
Yeah, the only couple of down points I'd say is that Bruno header, he completely gets distracted by the ball and loses Bruno, which allowed Bruno to get that free header, which he missed luckily. So he got lucky a bit with that, and also Rashford burst past him for that chance in the first half as well, which Vicario did well to save. So he kind of got away with a couple of moments, but as you say, he really grew into the game. He became dominant in that second half, and all of a sudden, in that second half, he was just imperious. Nothing was getting past him. He was mopping up so many situations where it looked like a bit scary. And as well, he's starting to get a lot more confident when it's again driving with the ball at his feet, taking people on those forward passes as well. Another really strong showing, and I think for such a young centre back at 22 to put in the 2 showings he's done so far in the Premier League, very impressive start.
Next up, let's go to Destiny Udogie. 8s all round. Another unbelievable display from Destiny. I thought defensively did such a great job for the team, coming into the midfield, creating that extra option in midfield, and going forward. Kept getting himself in the box with the link-up play with BISSOUMA as well. And I thought he was linking up really nicely with Sonny as well yesterday. So Destiny just keeps growing in this Spurs shirt. And if this is only like the sample size on the first 2 games, how good can Destiny Udogie be?
Yeah, I think he's going to be perfect for Ange once. I think he's already showing his willingness to adapt his game to play that role, and I think he's really doing a really great job. And he's so young as well. To adapt his game like that was really, really fantastic. I thought he was combining, as you say, really well with Sonny. Was unlucky not to score with a good run in the box and a shot which was saved by Onana, but he's always providing an option, and also he provides that solidity when he comes inverted as well. I thought defensively very, very strong. Anthony didn't get any spare change out of him as well, so a really positive showing again from Destiny.
Let's move on to BOSSED. 9s all round. 2 man of the match displays on the official charts anyway for BISSOUMA so far this season. What a performance this guy put in. I mean, this guy is unplayable when he's in this mood. He is absolutely unplayable. He's got eyes on the back of his head, dribbling ability to match. I mean, I can't get over how good this guy actually is. I mean, it's an absolute flipped 180 to what he was last season. Conte had the shackles on him. Postecoglou has just been like, look, you are the best player on this team and go and prove it. And he is proving it week in, week out at the moment. There were moments that are just unbelievable to watch. That nutmeg on Casemiro. I mean, he had no right to nutmeg Casemiro in that situation. He did it. There was one moment as well when he was just in the edge of our box and he had players all around him. The only place he didn't have players was right behind him where he couldn't see. And he just goes, whoop, turns around, beats everyone and goes on a surging run. And there were so many moments just on the edge of their penalty box where players were trying to engage him and he just did a drag back and goes past them. I mean, he's got such quick feet and such a quick mind. The players just can't keep up with him.
Yeah, it's absolutely phenomenal. He's becoming, if not one of the best press-resistant midfielders in the league again, like he was at Brighton. And I thought last season that was an element of his game that for some reason got taken out. But this season, he's showing that his confident self again. He's so strong. If he makes a shift and moves, no one can outmuscle him and win the ball back him in those situations. His dribbling ability was absolutely phenomenal. Defensively phenomenal. The only thing that stopped him from getting a 10 was maybe getting a goal or an assist on the chart. But from what he had to do, he was near perfect pretty much. And he's just a joy to watch. I can't think of too many defensive midfielders who are so exciting to watch than BISSOUMA.
Yeah.
If you think about like someone like Rodri, who's just very functional. He's obviously amazing at what he does, but he keeps things very simple, pass it forward, all that kind of stuff. But BISSOUMA is like having a Ronaldinho in centre mid. It's madness. His dribbling ability is crazy.
And at this point, and I mean at that moment, Ndombele became a distant memory in Simeon's mind. Let's move on to James Maddison. 8s all round for Mads. Look, another really good display, influential display. You saw that leadership quality coming out on him. He was going round to every player before the game, trying to G him up, words of wisdom. And I thought everything good going forward was coming through James Maddison. His dribbling ability was on show yesterday. 2 key passes in the game. There was one moment he picked the ball up in our box. It looked like he had nowhere to go and he just takes it past 1 man, 2 man, 3 man, 4 man, and they just can't get the ball off him. And he's got such quality in his crosses. Such great dribbling ability. I mean, he is the perfect guy for us to have in this system in that position.
Yeah, and I'm so happy that he's like transferring his form for Leicester straight away into the Tottenham team, and I think he's also been an absolute joy to watch. The way he weaves in and out of players, he glides past players like a ballerina, is absolutely phenomenal. The only thing I would say about him yesterday, apart from how amazing he was with his where he was picking up the ball, is maybe he could have created a bit more chances, or maybe he could have had a few more shots on goal, which we know he's very capable of. But apart from that, I thought he was phenomenal. I thought Casemiro really struggled to deal with him, struggled to pick him up, and I thought he was a thorn in Man United's side throughout the game. They really struggled to deal with him, so another phenomenal display.
Yeah, and let's move on to the star boy, or should I say the SARR boy, Pape Matar Sarr. 9s all round from Big Papa, and look, he deserves all the plaudits he's getting from yesterday for such a young age to dominate a midfield like that against Manchester United, against a Mason Mount who cost 60 million, Casemiro who cost 70 million, and Bruno who cost, I don't even know how much Bruno cost, but a lot of money. And it's just unbelievable what he was showing on that pitch yesterday, not just defensively, but first of all, defensively, he was putting out fires left, right, and centre. How many times did Manchester United look to have breakaways on the wing, and he was just storming in there with his sliding tackles. He was having chances, shots, could have scored more than one goal on the day, to be honest, hit the post with a deflected effort, and look, he got the rewards with a brilliant arriving late at the back post, creeping in behind Casemiro, I think it was. So that just topped off what an unbelievable display it was from Pape Matar Sarr.
Yeah, phenomenal for our first home game of the season, for him to add that kind of energy to the team, which I felt like that kind of position and that kind of performance was probably what was missing from the Brentford game. Just that ability to get into the box, cause havoc, pick up the ball and get shots off as well when he's making those runs. I thought he was making some really clever runs. He had a very good appreciation for space. Also picking up the ball in the centre, he just had that drive and that speed, which Man United's midfield just couldn't live with. And then off the ball, when you see like when they're trying to start counters and they just see Pape Matar Sarr chasing them down and just sliding in, the timing of his sliding tackles were absolutely fantastic. His aggression was fantastic. I thought his all-round game from both ends of the pitch was really, really effective, and it was a delightful display, and it looks like we've got another very good box-to-box midfielder on our hands now.
Yeah, absolutely. And them two are going to grow some sort of relationship, BISSOUMA and Sarr. I mean, I dread to think what happens to us when the AFCON comes around, though.
And also at finish, yes, it was fairly close to goal, but to get into the roof of the net like that, very, very underrated. Really
Yeah,
good
absolutely.
finish.
Let's move on to Heung-min Son. 7s all round for Sonny Boy. I thought it was a much better display than what it was, the anonymous display at Brentford. But what he did do, he was very busy out there on the left-hand side. He was causing problems for Wan-Bissaka, no ends of problems. He was on his dribbles. He was beating men. He was providing key passes. I would still like him to get into more like goal-threatening actions and really start taking shots from far. That didn't happen, but he did a great job for the team yesterday.
Yeah, a lot more effective than he was against Brentford. He was actually able to affect the game going forward and create chances and create openings for a lot of his teammates as well. The only real time he got into a shooting position after a brilliant move between BISSOUMA and Udogie, he maybe delayed the shot a bit too long and had his shot blocked, which was definitely his best chance of the game. But he did a very good creative job for the team, and that was what I was really happy about, and that's what I was very critical about him last game, where it seemed as though if he's not looking to score, he was kind of out of the game a lot and a bit anonymous. But it wasn't like that at all yesterday. He was very good at taking people on and creating chances, so much improved display for me from Son.
Next up, Dejan Kulusevski. Sim gives him a 6. I gave him a 7. I mean, it wasn't the greatest display from Kulusevski, I'm not going to lie. I did bump him up a mark because of the brilliant assist that he did get. Yes, it did get a deflection, but I thought he worked really hard to get that assist and get that cross in. Apart from that, I mean, he was threatening and huffing and puffing a bit from the right-hand side, but I still expect more from him, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think he played badly, but I don't think he was as effective as Son in a lot of those positions. I actually thought in the first half, he was one of the only ones on the right-hand side actually getting in on Man United's goal and trying to cause some problems, but again, wasn't able to really provide those finishing bits of quality to make him count. Second half, obviously, did brilliant with that assist. I thought he did really well to get to the byline. But other than that, I actually thought it was fairly quiet, bit quieter in the second half. Didn't get too involved. But I thought when he was involved, he was looking quite good, and I did think he linked up quite well with Porro. I think he put a decent display in, but I know he's capable of more.
And last of the starting 11, Richarlison. Sim gives him a 5. I gave him a 6. I mean, he was next to anonymous in the first half. In the second half, I felt like he was coming more deep, trying to get involved in the game, spreading the play a bit more, holding up the ball a bit better as well. So that's why I bumped him up 1 to make him a 6. But still, he didn't really get in any goal-scoring chances. You expect the players to get wide and get crosses in the box for him. Never really happened. He was just a bit of another lackluster display, to be honest.
Yeah, it was. I completely agree. I thought second half he was a bit more involved, and actually a couple of times he picked up the ball, was back to goal, and did some really nice switches of play out to the wide areas, which you don't really associate with Richarlison. And that was like something like, okay, he's capable of doing that. I thought his flicks and pass and layoffs were kind of coming off a bit more, but again, as you say, not getting enough goal scoring positions, not threatening Man United's backline anywhere near enough, and still lacking that quality really overall. So. And I actually think we looked a bit better when he went off and Son went centrally. So
yeah, I agree.
That's just reality.
Do you think that he persists with Richarlison still for a little bit, or do you think after just seeing that 15-minute this cameo from Sonny in the number 9, then we go for Sonny at number 9 next game?
I think he'll persist with it for a bit longer, but if it's really not working in a few games' time, he'll start to change it.
Let's look at these substitutes. Perisic came on with about 20 minutes to go, and I thought he added a lot more in this game than he did in the Brentford game. I thought he was pretty poor after coming on in Brentford, but what he did yesterday, he was getting the ball, attacking the spaces, getting good crosses in the box. It was obviously his ball to Ben Davies that forced that second goal as well. So I really like that cameo from Perisic yesterday.
Yeah, I thought he did really well on the left-hand side, actually creating chances and causing problems for their fullback. They had Dalot on at that point, but Perisic came in with his fresh legs and fresh ideas, and as you say, really good passing behind for Davies, creative pass, nutmegging Dalot with it, and set up the chance for the goal. And I thought it had a really good impact on the game, and he helped sustain the attacks down that left-hand side and cause some problems.
Ben Davies as well came on at the same time, 20 minutes left of the game, 7s all round from Ben Davies. Where he didn't score the goal, but gets an assist for the own goal for Martinez's goal. Did really work to force that issue. I thought he was being aggressive. He was winning his duels. I think 3 out of the 6 duels in 20 minutes he won. And I just liked his mentality when he came on, really putting a shift in for the team.
Yeah, I thought he came on and did a really good job to help see out the game. I think Destiny was getting quite tired beforehand, so I thought it was probably the right decision to give him a rest and bring Davies on. And Davies came on and showed that he's capable of contributing to the team and also playing how Ange wants him to play. I think this might have been the first time we've seen him at left back under Ange. I think because he was playing centre back before, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think it was the first time.
It might be the first time we've seen him there. So really good. I think he showed that he's capable of doing it. Obviously, got in a great position for the goal as well. And you have to kind of earn your own luck, and that's what he did by getting in there and picking up the pass, even though it was counted own goal. But I thought it was a really good cameo, and then defensively as well, he was pretty solid. Wasn't beating any times. He was just making sure that we saw out the game.
Yeah, and the last player that we're going to rate is Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Sim gives him a 7. I gave him a 6. Again, coming on for the last 20 minutes, and I think he put himself about. He kept things simple. There was a few really nice moments and really nice link-up play. I think with Solomon and I can't remember who the other player was, but I liked his energy when he came on.
Yeah, I thought it was a good cameo. The only bad part was he did this really sloppy pass in his own half, which gave it straight to Man United, and then I think we had to give away a free kick on the edge of our box because of it. So he kind of got away with that one moment. But apart from that, I thought he was really solid, provided again good energy. He showed a bit more on the ball dribbling wise than we've seen from Højbjerg in a Tottenham shirt, and just kept that platform for us to go on and win the game, and made sure that we weren't losing that energy in the centre of the park.
Yeah, I want to give another shout out to Manuel Solomon as well, because he came on for his debut at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and he looked electric when he came on. Nice little touches, taking it past players, passing inside as well. There was a really nice turn in there from Manuel Solomon as well. I mean, are you still going for him for flop of the season?
Oh, come on, you can't put that on me right now. I don't want him to be a flop. It was just a prediction. But look, I thought it was a nice cameo. I don't think he did much, to be honest. I think he did a couple of dribbles, but it was a nice sharp cameo. Yeah, it wasn't.
He came on for 88th minute.
Yeah, it wasn't on for that long. So, but I don't remember him creating any chances or anything. But look, he did a few nice turns.
Yeah, he just looked sharp when he came on.
He did.
And then last but not least, Mr. Angelos Postecoglou. 9s all round for Ange. I mean, this guy guy is doing, Brian's in the back saying it must be 10. Both Brians are saying 10, 10, 10. But look, Ange Postecoglou, he is doing everything right at the moment. Everything right in the press conferences, everything right on the football pitch. It's only his second game and the whole place seemed to have flipped 180. There seemed to be such a good vibe around the place, and it's all down to him, in my opinion. And look, we weren't that great in the first half. He recognised that. He tweaked the system a little bit to make some changes. And after that, we were totally dominant and came out winners and got the 3 points against Manchester United, a team who we haven't beat in a long time. And I think that you got to give him all the props because we're only going to get better from here at this point in.
Yeah, he's had a phenomenal start in terms of even results-wise and performances-wise so far. I think the fans have fallen in love with him. That's the biggest achievement maybe he's done in such a short space of time. He's got the fans to rally behind him and creating that connection. The players are as well are starting to really get more connected to the fan base again and show their appreciation for the fans inside the stadium. And the way he's got us playing in such a short space of time is quite frankly phenomenal. I think it's very surprising. I didn't expect us to be playing some of the football we've been playing already. And I get, yes, it's clearly not fully there yet, and it's still work in progress. There's definitely problems at the moment with nothing's going to be perfect straight away. But in terms of where we are, like in the project, like after 2 games, is way ahead of where I thought we would be at this stage. So absolutely phenomenal from Ange Postecoglou, and I think he's doing a phenomenal job. And after him coming over to the fans after the game and celebrating with them as well, lovely moment from him, and hopefully there's more of that to come.
All right, so big up to Ange Postecoglou and the team yesterday. A brilliant 2-0 win where we came out well-deserved winners. Let us know your player ratings as well in the comment section below.